And Judge, if I may share screen one more time, I
Mm-hmm.
apologize for stopping. Ms. Hodges, I have it pulled up for you. Man.
Oh, okay.
We'll get
Even
through
better.
it a lot quicker. And so in this, he's got listed here at the bottom of page, I think it's 4, under miscellaneous assets, numbered E, family Bible. Where is the family Bible, ma'am?
At my house.
Are you willing to provide that to him?
Absolutely.
Are you in agreement that you'll provide everything to me at my office and Mr. Hodges can schedule a time to come pick him up?
Everything I have, yes.
Okay, and let's go through everything you have. The small black safe, he says, is a separate property. Where is that?
He actually took that out of the house in October of 2019, and I've not seen it since, so I have no idea.
His mother's handmade quilt. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, I have that.
Are you willing to provide that to him?
Absolutely.
Okay. Brother commercial color copier. Do you know what this is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's about a 12 or 15-year-old copier that I put to the curb.
Why did you put it to the curb?
He didn't take it with him, and he hadn't used it probably in the 5 years prior to moving out.
Do you believe it's worth $1,000?
It's probably not worth 50 cents, and he didn't purchase it. He took it from his employer.
Okay. So do you believe a reimbursement claim in the amount of $1,000 for a 12-year-old brother copier is warranted?
No.
Golf clubs, bags, shoes, access, custom, $1,000. Do you know what he's referring to here?
Yes. And it's at the house, and he can have it.
Okay. So you'll produce that and we can schedule a time for him to obtain that from you as well, correct?
Yes.
All right. 2 large ice coolers. Do you know what he's talking about here?
Yes.
What is he speaking of?
They're 2 coolers that we purchased for the football team. We co-owned a football team for a period of 2 years.
Do you
Those
believe
also
they
went-
are valued at $400?
They only sell for $87 new now, so absolutely not.
And how old are they?
They were probably 12, 15 years old. Also, it was something that he, yeah.
And they're currently at your residence?
No, those went to the curb because they were all cracked up.
Were they operable? Were they in good condition?
No,
Okay. So at the time you placed them on the curb for trash pickup, do you believe they were worth anything?
no,
Pop-up canopy tables and chairs. Are you aware of what he's referring to here?
I know what the pop-up canopy is, and I have that for him. That was also something he took from his employer.
Are you willing to provide that to him for him to pick up at a scheduled time and date?
Absolutely.
Military gear. Do you know what he's talking about here?
No.
Scuba gear. Are you aware of what he's referring to here?
Yes, and he can have that also.
Do you have that in your possession?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll agree that you can provide that at a scheduled time and date as well?
Yes.
Safety equipment. Are you aware of what he's referring to here?
No.
Fishing gear. Are you aware of what he's referring to?
Yes, and it all went to the curb.
What was it that you put to the curb, Ms. Hodges?
Couple poles and a small tackle box.
Was it, in your opinion, worth $1,000?
It probably was worth $20.
Would you agree that you would reimburse Mr. Hodges $20 for that item?
Absolutely.
Mountain bike. Are you aware of any bike he's referring to?
There was I don't know if it was a mountain bike. There was a silver bike.
And where is that bike?
It went to the curb.
What was the condition of the bike when you put it on the curb?
I don't know. Mr. Hodges only rode that bike twice in the 12 years we were together, so not good shape.
And how old do you believe the bike to be?
He had it before we got married, so 12 plus years.
Do you believe it to be worth $600?
No.
Tools located in brown cabinet drills. Are you familiar with what he's referencing here?
Yes, and I have those, and he can have those.
Okay. Magic Chef small refrigerator. Do you know what he's referencing there?
Yes, I have that, and he can have that.
Luggage rack for truck.
I don't have a luggage rack. I have the add-on thing that goes on the back tailgate. I'm not sure what a luggage, if that's what he's referring to.
If you've got that extender and that's what he's referring to, can he have that?
Yes,
Electric smoker. Do you know what he's referring to here?
yes, it went to the curb
Why did it go to the curb?
because the cover on it leaked water and it got soaked, and so it was destroyed.
Was that intentionally done by you, or was that just something that happened over time?
No, it was sitting out on the patio. It was, just the weather.
Okay. So when you put it by the curb, it was, in your opinion, worth what?
0, because it was inoperable. I mean, it would have been a safety hazard.
Sports trophies and photos. Do you know what he's referring to here?
I know what he's referring to, the photos and the family photos, and I have all those that he can have.
Okay. And you'll provide those on a scheduled date and time as well?
Yes,
Okay. So in regards to these reimbursement claims that he's referenced here, you don't believe it warrants a $10,950 reimbursement? Do you?
absolutely not.
I believe your testimony was that you would agree to reimburse him the $20 for the cost of the fishing gear, but everything else you're willing to provide him, or your testimony is that it's worth 0. It was either in horrible condition or inoperable.
Right.
Let me go to your requested relief, Ms. Hodges, and so we can clear up exactly what you're asking this court to do before I pass you. And that is petitioner's exhibit number 1. I'd ask you, I'm going to just keep this up so we can share screen. So you're asking this court to do what with all your financial accounts, meaning checking and savings accounts, Ms. Hodges?
Award them to me.
What are you asking the court to do with Mr. Hodges' financial accounts, meaning any financial banking accounts, checking, savings accounts in his name?
Award them to him.
Retirement accounts. What are you asking this court to do with your retirement accounts?
Award it to me.
Regarding the DFAST pension plan that Mr. Hodges has put in his inventory and appraisement, what are you asking the court to do with that account?
To provide me half to me and half to the petitioner.
The vehicles, what are you asking the court to do with the 3 vehicles that are part of this community estate?
Give the Yukon to me and the other Prius and the F-150 to him.
The liabilities, the debt associated with the Yukon, are you asking the court to award that to you?
Yes,
Are you asking the court to award Mr. Hodges the debt associated with the vehicles you're asking the court that he keep?
yes,
Any and all credit card debt, what are you asking the court to do?
for me, award it to me.
If the debt's in your name, you're asking the court to award it to you. If the debt's in Mr. Hodges' name, you're asking the court to award it to Mr. Hodges.
Yes, sir.
All right. The business known as AAA Justice, what are you asking the court to do with that?
To award it to him.
And then the reimbursement claim in the amount of $468,625 that you believe is based on wasting of community funds and fraud on the community. What are you asking the court to do in regards to that?
That he reimbursed the community state for the wasting of the funds.
And that would award you approximately $234,000. What are you asking the court to do in regards to payment of that amount of funds to you?
To pay that out to me at a rate of $4,000 a month for 58 and a half months, beginning December 1st.
And you're asking that be paid in the form of spousal support?
Yes,
Once again, why are you asking for it to be paid in the form of spousal support?
because like I previously stated, Mr. Hodges didn't pay the IRS until they levied his income. He didn't pay child support to his children. He will certainly not pay me any money.
Judge, assumes facts not in evidence.
Do you believe that this court needs to put teeth on some form of reimbursement to you to require Mr. Hodges to pay this to you?
Yes, absolutely.
If the court orders a judgment in your favor against Mr. Hodges, is it your opinion that you won't receive that money ever?
I will never see it.
You're asking this court to confirm your separate property residence at 7003 Desert Bluff Lane, correct?
Yes,
And you purchased that once again prior to marriage, is that correct,
Yes.
Ms. Hodges?
yes,
And that's also labeled in Mr. Hodges' inventory as your separate property, is that correct?
yes,
And you're asking the court to confirm the sum of $8,537 from your HMEPS retirement plan as your separate property, is that correct?
yes,
And also the sum of $3,154 from your City of Houston deferred compensation plan as your separate property, is that right?
yes.
Is there anything else that you're requesting this court to do today, other than grant you divorce and award you the property as you've requested here?
Can we take a break? I need to talk to my attorney.
Judge, can we just take one moment? A brief 2-minute break.
All right, we're going to go off the record for 2 minutes.
That is wrong.
Get your sound out.
No, I just found that. Let's see there.
Hey, we skipped the one that has all the furniture and stuff on it, and the microwave.
You're taking your son to Freebirds because he wants Freebirds.
All right, the court's back on the record in the Hodges matter. Mr. Zan, you may continue with your direct examination of Ms. Hodges.
You're muted, Dean.
Ms. Hodges, and I just asked you, is there anything else you want this court to be aware of in regards to your requested relief? And we've had a brief moment to go over one last thing. And Mr. Hodges in his inventory has listed furnishings, fixtures, appliances, etc. under subsection H. Do you see that, ma'am?
Yes, I have it in front of me, but
So
I'll
he's
just-
listed a GE dishwasher in your possession in the amount of $300. What is that, Ms. Hodges, if you know?
it's a dishwasher that is 7 going on 8 years old.
Do you think it's worth $300?
It's maybe worth 50 that I'd be happy to pay him.
When was it acquired?
2014.
Okay. And did Mr. Hodges enjoy the benefit and use of that dishwasher for the last 7 years?
Absolutely.
Living room sectional, what is that?
It's a sectional that we bought for Christmas of 2014 for his family when they visited.
And what do you believe, what did you purchase it for in 2014?
For the living room. His family was coming and he wanted a new couch for Christmas.
No, what amount did y'all pay?
Oh, $2,800.
Do you believe it's worth $2,000 today, being 6 years old or 7 years old?
No, absolutely not. The 400 dogs have all had,
Objection, after absolutely not, non-responsive.
Why don't you think it's worth $2,000 today, Ms. Hodges?
it's 7 years old and those 400 puppies and dogs have all had a festival on it at one point or another.
The master bedroom suite, Mr. Hodges has it listed here at $5,000 in your possession. Can you tell the court what that is if you're aware?
Yes, it's
What is it?
it's a bed, 2 nightstands and 2 dressers.
You believe it's worth $5,000?
It's only $2,800 is what we paid. And I also looked up on cost.
Objection, non-responsive.
What was it worth when you purchased it?
$2,800,
When did you purchase it?
2013,
Where did you purchase it from?
Costco.
What do you think the value of it today would be based on garage sale or resale value, if you know?
$250.
Okay. Mattress and electric bed stand. What is this, if you're aware?
It's a bed that he bought for the guest room.
And is it valued at $2,000 today?
No,
What do you think it's worth today, ma'am?
it's worth absolutely zero because in COVID, you can't sell anything like that. But he only paid $974 according to the statements he provided to us
Objection,
for it.
Judge. Not responsive.
Sustain.
Are you wanting to keep that?
No, I'll be happy to pay him the money for that.
Or I'm saying, do you want to keep the mattress in bed or do you want Mr. Hodges to have it?
No, I'm going to keep it.
Okay. The GE stove, he has 2013 listed at $250. What is that, ma'am?
It's the stove that's in the kitchen that we replaced,
When did you replace it?
2013.
You believe it to be worth $250 being 8 years old?
No,
What do you think it's worth?
50.
And did Mr. Hodges enjoy the benefit of use of that from the time you put it in until the time you left the residence?
Yes, I don't cook.
GE microwave 2014. What is that?
It's a microwave that's above the stove in the kitchen.
Does it currently work, function?
Actually, no, it's broke.
So is it worth $100?
It's worth zero.
GE refrigerator 2018, Mr. Hodges has listed for $500. What is that?
It's a side-by-side refrigerator in the kitchen.
And is it worth $500 today, resale or garage value?
No, about 150.
Cooking equipment, stand-up grill, crawfish burner ×2. He has listed $500. Can you tell the court what that is?
It's a grill and 2 crawfish burners.
Do you think it's worth $500 today, resale or garage value?
No, but all those items together are worth about $50.
Okay. And then wall-mounted TV and bracket on the following page 3, listed at $600. What is that, ma'am?
It was a TV and the bracket to hold it in the office.
When did you acquire that?
It's over 12 years old because he brought it home from the office.
So neither of you purchased that?
No,
Where is that TV and bracket now?
it went to the curb.
Why did it go to the curb?
Well, because Mr. Hodges had always told me in 2016 when he moved out previously that the next time he left, he was going to fill his car with gas, drive as far as he could, and then start a new life there. Well, he left, I believe, on a Tuesday, and I didn't hear from him again until I opened his email on Friday. So I assumed that he filled his car with gas and started a new life wherever he ran out of gas.
What do you think the resale garage value of that wall-mounted TV and bracket is?
Again, zero. It was an old heavy TV, really thick. They don't even sell those like that anymore.
And then listed under number 6, office furniture, equipment, desk, chairs, video equipment, audio equipment. Do you know what any of that is, ma'am?
I know what part of it is.
What part do you know?
The desk and the chair. There was,
What do you believe the value of those items to be?
zero.
Why is that?
Well, the desk was coming apart because he had overfilled the drawers so many times. And the chair was formerly a chair that had a back that had snapped off. So it was just a seat.
And where are those items now?
They all went to the curb also.
Do you know about any of the other items, the video equipment, audio equipment that he's referencing?
I'm not sure what he's talking about there.
Do you have any video or audio equipment that you would be aware of?
No. He had a camera, but it's not at the house, so I assumed he took it.
Are there any other items that you have of Mr. Hodges that you'd be willing to provide him other than what you previously testified to?
Yeah, down in the same list where it says miscellaneous assets, the vacuum packed winter clothes are at the house and he can have those.
Okay.
The suits and the clothes and the shoes also went to the car because at the time, Mr. Hodges was significantly smaller and all of those would have been way too big.
Well, he has those listed in his possession, so I don't know if he's referencing the same thing or not.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's fine then.
All right, is there anything else that you want this court to be aware of in regards to any of your requested relief?
No, I pray that the court will award the spousal maintenance. Otherwise, I will never see a nickel from Mr. Hodges. Because he vehemently defied the court.
Objection, Judge, non-responsive.
Overruled.
You can
Because he
finish.
vehemently defied the court order month after month after month after being served. He didn't provide all of his discovery. It took over a year and a half. If you don't do what the IRS says a judge has ordered, and you don't support your kids, I don't see you paying your ex-wife a nickel.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Phoenix, we've got about 30 minutes left today, so why don't we go ahead and start with your cross-examination. You may proceed.
Judge, I sure hate to ask this, but can you give us a few minutes?
Yeah, we can take let's take 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we'll wait for Mr. Zan. But we hadn't figured out scheduling yet, so we might want to.
I was thinking about that too, Judge. I was sitting here thinking we're gonna have to stop at some point and get our calendars together.
Mr. Zan is on his way back.
Judge, that's when second floors don't favor you, having to run up and down.
Yeah, you'd be out of breath. I mean, stay in good shape doing that though.
Yeah.
So my thought, Mr. Zan, is before we get on the record and start the cross, is we probably should figure out calendaring. And I can tell you in a way, it's good because I went through exhibits over lunch, but because of what you've got, this kind of case, it requires going kind of like Mr. Zan did, looking at 2 exhibits at the same time and going through them. So I didn't get through all the exhibits, so I wouldn't be able to make a ruling today anyways, because there's a lot of exhibits I still need to go through. And that's if we had completed all the witnesses, and we're not even anywhere near there. We still have cross-examination, and then we still have a whole nother party. So my hope is that if we hit the ground running in the next day that we're coming in, that we'll finish that day. And I think there's a good possibility of that. But looking at
I'm gonna look at
calendar-
my exhibits, Judge, and try to, make sure I can present everything pretty quickly and concisely. I'm gonna give it 110.
Oh, I know. And y'all are doing a great job as far as lawyering and the witnesses, and everything's going just fine. It's just, anytime you have large fraud claims or wasting claims, and I know both sides have allegations of that, it requires detail, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of documents you have to go.
Yeah,
And then there's a lot of documents that, as a judge, I have to go through.
yeah.
So I know why it's taken a little longer than we had anticipated. But looking at the calendar, since we can't do tomorrow, and I can't do Friday, next week is Thanksgiving week.
Oh, I didn't know. Thanksgiving is next week? Whoa,
So
I didn't know that. Wow.
my thought is I could do, if y'all want, 'cause I've got some people out next week. I'm here, but I'm not gonna have full staff. What we may want to do is do the 29th, if that works for y'all, or do the 30th, one day that week of the 29th to finish.
Okay,
29th, 30th, 1st or 2nd, but I don't want to go any further out than that because
I could make the 29th work, Judge. I've got order entry, it appears, in your court, and then an order entry at 1 o'clock with the OAG, so it wouldn't interfere with your calendaring or schedule.
Ms. Phoenix,
we have,
for you. What does that look like for you?
on the 29th,
Yes, ma'am.
my paralegal says we have 1 o'clock mediation.
So what about any other day that week that works for you, Ms. Phoenix?
She said Tuesday is gonna be my best day.
And I've got a mediation that's been
Oh,
ordered by the 328
Yeah.
to be conducted at 1 o'clock that day.
Okay, what about Wednesday, Kathy?
Wednesday, I can make myself available.
We'll look at our calendar.
Judge, I
Wednesday or
have
Thursday?
a criminal plea on Wednesday at 9, Judge, but once that's done, and I would assume that takes no longer than 30 minutes, I can attend this.
Hold
trial,
on,
Judge.
just
Y'all do
just
those
sec-
live? Y'all do those live, Mr. Zan? Please.
No, well, yes, I have to be down at the courthouse. It's County Court of Law number 1, Judge, and it's one of my last court-appointed cases that I have to finish. And it's the court, Judge Morales requires that we come in person to handle the plea.
Okay. Well, I know both y'all office close to the courthouse, so.
It wouldn't be an issue though, Judge. I could come back and attend via Zoom relatively quickly.
Okay. Does that work for you, Ms. Phoenix? Wednesday?
And I'm open all day the 2nd, Judge, if that better suits Ms. Phoenix or the court.
What did you say, Mr. Zan? I'm sorry. I'm listening.
Thursday the 2nd, I'm open all day. That day is not booked for anything. So whichever day works better for you, Miss Phoenix, I'm open.
Wednesday or Thursday, Miss Phoenix.
Well, I'm a little bit reluctant to go with Thursday because I have an out of country trip, but I haven't got my passport and I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it in time. So,
Would
if
you
I
leave on that
schedule-
Thursday? You would plan on leaving
I would
Thursday?
leave that Thursday, right? But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get my passport in time. So I'd hate to schedule it and my passport comes in and I hit the road.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Okay,
all right.
can we get just a second to look at your calendar? We might be able to move a few things.
Okay, Judge, Kathy says we might be able to move a
Yeah,
few
let's
things.
go. I'm gonna let y'all work on the calendar issues. We're not on the record, so let's work on the calendar issues. I'd rather get that done than cram in 10 minutes of cross. So let's get the date worked out because how long are you out of town, Miss Phoenix, if you go out of town?
Just a few days. I'm gonna be out let me find the December calendar.
That Thursday and that.
I'll be
The
out
whole, the whole world with YouTube is I guess hearing our calendar issues.
The-
We